If the crypto market seems utterly boring to you right now, you're not alone. A lot of people feel that way, and that's why it's even more important that you tune in and don't tune out. I'm the Gaussian Snake, and this is the Crypto Simulation YouTube channel. I also run a Telegram group called the Snake Pit, where I do daily market updates, chart analyses, and we talk about new projects. We have a great community over there. We would love to have you. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel for more updates like this one. I'm going to be talking tonight about the altcoin market and what to expect from it as we enter into the summer months. The chart you're looking at here is the total crypto market cap minus stable coins and also minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is the altcoin market in a nutshell. It does include the top 10 altcoins, and you can see that a pattern is emerging that looks awfully similar to what happened over here in July of 2019, or if you like, in October of 2020. More so like July of 2019. Seems like a less volatile version of it. There are some differences. Okay, there are some differences. So what happened in June of 2019, we were holding this support line. This is a very long-term support line going back many years, and we fell below it in August of 2019. It actually remained below it for quite some time until September. Now, it is a little bit different this time. If you think back to June of 2019, that was shortly after Bitcoin had exited a bear market. We're in a very different situation now. You can see that we had a lot of sideways chop at the upper levels, and the Gaussian channel is red and concave up and not concave down. Now, does that mean we're immune to a capitulation here? No, we certainly could see a drop. But when you have the Gaussian channel widening like this and kind of fat, and you have price kind of riding the lower boundary of it, you would anticipate probably some kind of drop, but then a very sharp bounce back up. I don't think it's going to take months to climb back up like it did in late 2019. But what I do anticipate happening is a V-shaped recovery. Yeah, because I think this Gaussian channel is likely to turn green pretty soon from some of this upward price action. I mean, this has mostly been an accumulation phase. You know, and I'd argue this really wasn't an accumulation phase over here. We had just, literally come out of a bull market and we were in just barely starting a bear one. I'd argue the accumulation range was down here for that bull market. For this current one, I think we're in the accumulation range. And while I do think price could break trend, there's no guarantee that it does, and if it does, there's no guarantee that it lasts for any substantial length of time. But it is something to watch out for right now. Altcoins are generally doing pretty poorly against Bitcoin. I wanted to pull up something here called the Mansfield RSI, which is going to give us an idea of how well the total crypto market cap, altcoin market, has been performing against Bitcoin. But to do that, I need to turn off, I need to pull up Total 3 as a chart by itself and not versus Bitcoin, because that would be somewhat redundant. So what you're looking at here is Total 3, and you can see that the conditions now are different than last time, even though some of the development looks similar. We had to look at double bottom in, looks like around December 18. We came back and retested that in March 2020, whereas we just kind of rode the lows here throughout 2022 and 2023, and we are now above a skinny concave up green Gaussian channel. So while I do think altcoin prices could fall, certainly possible, I don't see them falling very far. I don't think that altcoin market against the US dollar is likely to experience as dramatic a drop as it did during the bear market years back here. I think it's more likely, yeah, we could see a drop. Maybe we test the channel or something like that. We should probably take a look at some moving averages. But I wanted to pull up the Mansfield RSI so we could take a look at the relative strength of the altcoin market against Bitcoin. Now, if you look at this, what you'll notice is there aren't too many times where the altcoin market has really outperformed Bitcoin in a big way since the Mansfield RSI measurement starting in July of 2018. We had major outperformance from about June of 2020 to November of 2020. Bitcoin, of course, went on a crazy run at that point, and then from February 2021 really till about December of 2022. So the altcoin market outperformed Bitcoin quite a bit in those green regions. believe it or not, we've actually been underperforming Bitcoin ever since. And generally speaking, there's not a lot of data here to go off of. Actually, I realize I have two Mansfield RSIs open right now, so I closed one of them. But, it looks like we've been kind of undervalued for quite some time against Bitcoin. And, I think that's going to change pretty soon. I really do, especially with this green Gaussian. Last time we went green and skinny, it wasn't long before we took off and really started to put in some massive moves. And I think the altcoin market is getting closer to doing something like that in the coming months. Something interesting here on the weekly time frame, the weighted Bollinger Bands, weighted logarithmic Bollinger Bands are starting to squeeze. We're seeing very diminished volatility here. And you might wonder, what direction is the altcoin market likely to move? And the answer is, well, it depends on what Bitcoin does. So what is Bitcoin likely to do? Bitcoin's been showing quite a bit of strength. Yes, it has been getting rejected at the 70K level, but it also hasn't really gone below 67K either. It's just been getting sandwiched. And we're seeing the same thing happen with Total 3. There's a big move coming, most likely. That is why these are squeezing. We're seeing reduced volatility. The question is, will it be up or will it be down? And that is a good question because it really depends on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin breaks out to the upside and surprises everybody, and it doesn't break down, like a lot of people are thinking that it might, then this will likely break up too. And it may break up less dramatically at first, as you've seen in the past with the altcoin market, that the breakout initially might not be that dramatic, but then once Bitcoin sort of settles down, altcoins could really go on a major move. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. This looks like the accumulation zone, extending out from June of 2022 really all the way till October of 2023. This is a great place to purchase altcoins with USD. If you did that, you're probably up pretty well. I don't think we're going to come back down to this region. Even on a dump, maybe the top of the Gaussian channel would be kind of the most I would see. Let's pull up some moving averages and take a look at what things look like. But they look pretty good if you pull up the Gaussian and the Bollinger Bands. Well, we're just getting things kind of sorted out. Looks a little bit like Bitcoin, unsurprisingly. So we are sandwiched right now. We're right at the 20-week whole moving average. We are having resistance at the 50-week whole moving average, but support at the 100-week whole moving average. So it's just squeezing towards a big move. And you see the 200 has curled back around nicely, looking bullish. 100 is above the 200. The only moving average that we had a death cross on was the 20 with the 50, which is less significant, in my opinion, than a larger moving average crossing. If you go back in time to the last major altcoin move, we had a similar situation right here, right, where we went underneath, got sandwiched, and then, man, we just took off. I think a massive altcoin move to the upside is quite likely. I can't tell you if we'll see just a little bit of weakness first. It depends, again, on what Bitcoin does, right? But the odds are we're going to have a more massive upside move than a downside move. I think any downside moves against the US dollar have mostly already happened for a lot of these altcoins. And if they haven't already bottomed, they're probably very close to bottoming. This is others dominance, and you can see that it has been showing support on this trend line, this long-term trend line, since March of 2017. Hasn't broken trend to the downside since. That's a 7-year trend line. It's pretty darn strong. Gaussian channel is green and concave up. We are running into a little bit of issues here, which is something that's happened before when the Gaussian channel has gone green. So I think we're going to get a little bit of a pullback in others dominance. Now this could happen on a Bitcoin pump. It could happen on a Bitcoin dump. But either way, I think that we're likely to see a V-shaped recovery out of whatever others dominance is about to do. So people that are about to give up on altcoins are going to be surprised when altcoins head the other direction in a massive way like they've done before. So you can see right here, boom, went way up to a new level. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't think we're going to get to that kind of dominance necessarily. I was just having fun with arrows earlier. But, make up some number, right? Anyways, I think we're going higher for sure. Maybe not as insanely high as I put there. But we're going to take away a lot of Bitcoin's dominance, and I think altcoins are going to have their moment in the sun. I think the recovery will be very swift against Bitcoin as we head into the second half of the year, which I think is going to be very kind to altcoins. So one last flush out probably, and it could be on a Bitcoin uptrend or a downtrend. If you look at Bitcoin dominance, you can see that my base case for dominance is it's kind of on its last legs. And maybe it has one more impulsive move in it. Maybe it can tap this trend line, but then I think that's it. The Gaussian channel for dominance is green and concave down, which is a sign of weakness. Last time this happened, Bitcoin dominance got flushed out. I think it will get another push at some point when Bitcoin goes on, maybe one more crazy run to the upside. I think that could happen now too. And if that does happen, we could see a pretty crazy push even right here, like a blow off top for Bitcoin dominance. So that's also possible, something to consider. And that would knock others' dominance down. But right now, Bitcoin just can't seem to make up its mind what it wants to do. It's sort of just stuck, not really able to get above its all-time high, but there's a big move coming. And that big move could be to the upside. I think it's actually quite likely that it is to the upside. Maybe we bounce off the median line of the weighted logarithmic Bollinger Band. I just don't see us having a sustained period of weakness for Bitcoin. We're in a bull market, and we barely started the bull market by, we're like maybe halfway through it at the very least. So, the recovery started in 2022. Here we are in 2024. I think we have perhaps about another year left of bullishness before everything kind of falls apart. Okay. And we head into another, period of weakness. But I think, we could see others' dominance fall on a Bitcoin pump. And, you would see total 3 against the US dollar also pump with that. So what would happen, though, is this would just pump a little less dramatically at first. And that's why you would see others' dominance, which is, again, the dominance of the altcoin market minus the top 10 coins. It's roughly 250 coins or so, last I heard. And you probably will see ETH Bitcoin capitulate a little bit more than it already has. Maybe it goes down into, I don't have my red zone drawn here, but somewhere in the 0.04 region. That is possible if Bitcoin has a mania pump right now, which could happen, right? If it has a dump, same thing, right? Any extremely volatile move by Bitcoin is likely to also move Bitcoin dominance up and send all the other dominances down, but just temporarily. So like I said, I feel like we have been in a accumulation phase for altcoins, and I think that you're gonna see if you think altcoins are boring and not doing a whole lot right now, and you feel like tuning out, this really isn't the time to do that. I think again, nothing I say here is intended to be financial advice in this video. Forgot to mention that earlier, but I think you're going to be surprised by just how strong altcoins are going to be in the second half of this year. Just look at the top 50 performers over the last 90 days. One thing you'll notice is that for the first time in a while, we don't have meme coins at the very top of the top performers. We have Toncoin, affiliated with Telegram, Jasmy, which is like a Japanese version of Bitcoin or something like that. I don't know a whole lot about this project. Pepe, still a meme coin, coming in at number 3. Dog with Hat at number 4. But that's it as far as meme coins are concerned. Well, now till you get to Floki Inu, right here. I don't actually know what Leo is, but so you've got at least 3 meme coins that are still in the top, and they're outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin is only down 0.9%. Wow, look at how many projects Bitcoin is outperforming, like pretty much the entire altcoin market, minus just a few. So that tells you everything you need to know. We are knee deep in Bitcoin season. We have actually entered into the red zone. Well, this is not red quite yet. It's like orange, but I would call it I like to call things the red zone, but we've entered into Bitcoin season. We're in Bitcoin season. And I think we're probably about to go deeper into it before we come out of it. So that's why I said, I think altcoins are going to get a final flush out against their Bitcoin pairs. I'm not sure about their USD pairs. I'm kind of 50-50 on that because Bitcoin has been showing some strength. It hasn't been showing a lot of weakness. But I think altcoin season is coming. Historically speaking, when we have entered into this zone, right, you look in the past, when we've entered into this zone, we can stay there for a little while, but then just the exact opposite happens and we head up into the altcoin zone. And we haven't really had, honestly, much of an altcoin season yet. We had a brief one that kind of lasted, we got a push up from October 2023 to about January, but we've come all the way back down now. So I think we need to spend a little bit of time in Bitcoin season. We need to see the altcoin market remain boring, uneventful. People start giving up on their altcoins. And when everybody's given up on altcoins and they think that nothing but Bitcoin's going to go up, that's when altcoins will move up. So it's really a bad idea to tune out of the market right now. If you hold altcoins, it's kind of late to just start selling them. Again, not financial advice. Most altcoins look weak right now, especially against Bitcoin. That's probably going to be the case for a little while longer. But I do think a huge move by altcoins is coming. And sooner than you think, right? Sooner than you think. I don't think we need to go through one of these giant bulls. Maybe something more like here, where we're in Bitcoin season for a couple months. Like, it doesn't have to be dramatic. It could just be a couple months that we spend here. Maybe we spend June here, and maybe that's it. Or maybe a little bit of June and July, and then in August things just blast off. I don't think altcoin season is far away at all. So I originally said that I could see altcoin season starting in late spring to early summer. And maybe you have to move the goalposts a little bit to like midsummer. But still, I think we'll be in altcoin season before you know it. We just need to spend a little bit of time in Bitcoin season before that happens, round things out, head up. So that's what I see happening. So maybe Bitcoin gets a move to 100K or something like that. That's what I think is probably more likely than Bitcoin just completely dumping out. I just think to get dominance to finally have that blow off top or to top out, we're going to need to see a volatile move by Bitcoin. And you can see that one is coming. The Bollinger Bands are squeezing, volatility is contracting, volume is, sell volume is pretty much starting to weaken out. So I see that coming, and I think it's going to be an upside move that's going to shock everybody who's expecting a dump. And that will be very bad for altcoins against their Bitcoin pairs, but I think it'll pave the way for an altcoin season, because you really need Bitcoin to put in a new all-time high for that to happen. So I maintain that others' dominance is probably going to have a little bit of a dump first, and it could be on a Bitcoin pump, which would be perfectly fine. That'd actually be preferable because the US dollar valuations of your altcoins would actually go up, and you wouldn't necessarily notice the underperformance against Bitcoin as dramatically as if Bitcoin had a giant dump. And in that case, you would see altcoins break down on their US dollar pairs, which I think is less likely, honestly, than the opposite, which is going up. So in the meantime, though, as long as Bitcoin's remaining flat, expect the altcoin market to remain relatively flat and even go down a little bit, but that should turn around as soon as Bitcoin starts to show strength again, which I think will happen this summer. So I hope you enjoyed my overview of the altcoin market and projections for a very bullish second half of the year for the altcoin market. And I think for Bitcoin as well, but I think altcoins will be the shining stars if we look back in maybe 9 months. We'll see, wow, altcoins really did some pretty crazy things. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to give this video a like and leave me any comments, share it out. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified of future videos. And please, if you like my analysis, you want to see more of it on a more daily basis, join my free Telegram group, the Snack Pit, for more of this, charts, projects, community. We have some great members there who also do some great analysis. So we like to bounce ideas off each other. And really, to succeed in crypto, you need a good team. So again, nothing in this video is intended to be financial advice. Always do your own research. And I will see you in the crypto simulation again very soon. I'm the Gaussian Snack. It's been a pleasure. See you again next time. Bye.